I will make sure that I get my news coverage from a reliable source.
Hey players, good morning players, good morning players, all players, hey players, Musty, Marjorie, Frumpy Duck. This is incitement of an insurrection. They suspended her without explanations. This witness wasn't shown on camera because she was underage, and a spokesperson for Mayor Jacob Fry said to the motherfucking Duck, and the mariachi band being placed outside of his house. This is DoubleDee Momo, reporter for the Black Green News, where I'm black and the news is always accurate. Player, grab your teacup. It's time for Real Tea with DoubleDee. Hey players, welcome to a brand new episode of the Real Tea with DoubleDee. Of course, I am DoubleDee, and we are on the GSMC Podcasting Network. So excited to be with you all tonight to record a brand new episode. And I must say, honey, we have a lot to talk about tonight. I didn't think it was going to be that much. I was actually feeling like I was going to be scrambling to fill this episode, but I am not scrambling because there is a lot going on. We have Frumpy Dump and his emails, and we have some play stupid games, win stupid prizes. We have the biggest subject of the night, the incident of the night, which is the incident in Pensacola with Corey Marioneax. And we have a few other things to talk about. We have some brand new news that just came down the pipeline. So I'm ready to get into it. But of course, I'm going to say hello to everybody out there in podcasting world, as well as everybody out there in YouTube land. Let you guys know, YouTube and Facebook land. Let you guys know I'm so excited to be with you all tonight. And thank y'all for joining me as I record this live. If anybody out there in podcasting world would like to join me when I record these episodes, I do record them live on my Facebook page, DoubleDee Movo, as well as my YouTube page. And if anybody out there on YouTube or Facebook would like to listen to this later, you could always listen to it and stream it wherever your podcast or wherever you love to stream your podcast. You can do that as well. I'm so excited. I'm going to again speak to you all. Say, hey, how y'all doing? Players, love y'all so much. Thank y'all for joining me. Y'all know I love to have an audience because it helps things go a little faster. And it also just gives me a little interaction, honey. But of course, because my people out in podcasting, the players out in podcasting land, they cannot see you all. So I won't be interacting as much, but I will be speaking with you all and wanting to see what you guys are saying regarding these issues and subjects that we're going to be discussing tonight. So I know that just did not happen. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. You know what? I'm very upset that happened because I am for the first time being alone by myself. I am for the first time on time. And I must say, I am very proud of myself that I am on time because these last few episodes, I've been late. And now we're going to have some fuck shit like that come up, talking about some antivirus. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Please just look over this computer of mine. I let my husband use it, and now it's acting all funny and shit. So, of course, this episode tonight, I will let you guys know that it was brought to you by, this episode is sponsored by Speak Easy Kids, you all. And I am so excited to speak to you all about Speak Easy for Kids. It is a program as well as she sells coloring books and different types of books and stuff to help kids with public speaking. And it's from kindergarten to 5th grade. Her name is Jessica. She's a very nice lady. She actually sent my children some samples of her books as well as some crayons and different things. And she is sponsoring tonight's episode. So I do want to thank her for being a sponsor of tonight's episode. And also, I want to show you guys a little ad.
I just wanted to talk a minute about my books on public speaking. They are activity and coloring books for kids in grades K through 5, and they include 3 different topics. So each book has a different topic, but each one has the fundamentals of public speaking in it. First book is on timing, which is very important when you're speaking in public. The other is on sounds and words we choose, articulation, pronunciation, good stuff like that. And the last one is types of speeches. How many types of speeches do you know? So anyway, get the books. You can buy them on speakeasyforkids.com or amazon.com. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you later.
Jessica is just such a sweet person, and I really adore her books. The coloring books are just so imaginative, and my daughter and my son actually love those books. So you guys can get those on Amazon, as well as you can visit her website at www.speakeasyforkids.com, and that is Speak Easy for Kids, not the word easy, but just EZ4kids.com. You guys can visit that. You can also search up her books. Just type in Speak Easy for Kids and her books will come up on Amazon. I'm telling you, they are worth your kids having those, especially the coloring books. Very, very imaginative coloring books that your kids can really enjoy. And like I said, my daughter absolutely loves her coloring book. So you guys make sure you check that out. And I'm going to play that ad again, just in case you did miss it. And for everybody that is looking at the visual, that is going to be strolling at the bottom of the screen, that this episode is sponsored by Speak Easy for Kids. So make sure you guys go and check it out. All righty, you guys. So we will be moving on here. And where is it? So the first subject that we'll talk about tonight happened out in Pensacola, Florida. So you guys make sure you grab your teacups. You're definitely going to be needing those. If you did not see my report on this, we're going to kind of go into a little bit of detail of what happened to Corey and his family back on February 3rd in Pensacola, Florida. That's February 3rd of this year. And what has caused this young man to now be facing an attempted murder charge of a police officer. This is just, I mean, if you look at this little family, such a sweet little family. Look at that little baby. The children are now 1 and 3 years of age. And on February 3rd, Corey was at home sleeping at 5 o'clock in the morning. He was just sleeping with his kids. And I'm really not sure of the details here as far as why his girlfriend was not at the location, because one report said that they were co-parenting, but another report has them as together. And it looks like they are together because I did find his Facebook page. So either way, she wasn't in the home at the time when the police showed up there at 5 o'clock in the morning. So the police show up at the home in Pensacola, Florida at 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, the actual initial police report actually said that they announced themselves and knocked on the door for 10 seconds. Now, I need you all to listen to 10 seconds, and we're going to go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi. Somebody's knocking at my door and I'm in the back of the house and I'm sleeping, no matter if they're announcing themselves or not. I'm probably not going to hear them, especially at 5 o'clock in the morning, unless you have somewhere to go or something like that. Usually people are in their REM sleep at that time. And what I mean by REM sleep is they're in their deep sleep mode. So this man is sleeping in his house with his kids. He doesn't hear anything. And then the police use a batarang to come through his door. They're there to serve a warrant. Now, this isn't a no-knock warrant because, again, they did announce themselves and knock at the door. So it wasn't, they're not describing it, at least, as a no-knock warrant. This is the Pensacola SWAT team. So they used the batarang. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the batarang, but those things are freaking vicious. They actually came out during the 80s, during the crack epidemic. They came out out there. They're this really big, huge thing, and they use them to ram in doors. It usually takes doors off the hinges and off the frames. It's very damaging. So they use the hand battle ram, and I think it was Eazy-E that actually has a song about the battle ram. So they go through the door. Corey, and I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong, Marino or something to that effect. Y'all gonna hear it on the report. I have a report here for you. He actually hears this when they actually make it into the house, and he's a registered gun owner. He has his weapon. He picks up his weapon, and he fires off a couple of rounds. You know what I'm saying? He fires up. Now, I don't have the exact amount of shots that he actually fired, but he fired some shots. The police fired some shots, and they ended up apprehending him. No one was hurt in this initial confrontation. So no one was hurt. But they said that he fired some rounds as well as the police fired some rounds. So they take him into custody. And of course, he's in the house with the children and he's by himself. So they also take the children, and somehow, the girlfriend, she actually gets a phone call telling her what was going on, and she goes and makes it and goes to the scene. They have the children in the police car or whatever. She gets to the scene and they hand her baby. She said this was around 7:00 in the morning. Now, keep in mind that this happened at 5. At around 7:00 in the morning, she gets to the scene. They hand her 1-year-old, and her 1-year-old is looking like this. Oh my goodness. Even that would have just sent me. So they couldn't explain to her what happened. Okay. They couldn't explain to her how her 1-year-old child ended up looking like this. They didn't say anything to her at the time, but she's worried about her baby. They tell her that the ambulance did not, this is on the scene now, that they tell her that no police officers had made it to the scene. Or whatever. No ambulance had made it to the scene or anything. So she takes her baby down to the hospital, and they check him out or whatever. They check him for concussions and different things like that. And they release him. So she was demanding answers on what happened to her baby. And then finally, a couple of days later, they let her know that the baby was inside the police car. They did not. Now, this is a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old that they have put inside of a police car unattended. And then they say that this baby, when the police officer went to open the door, the baby fell out. I declare, honey, you know what? That is just heinous and egregious. It is absolutely terrible. You hear me? It is the most terrible thing. So not only do you have your baby's father in jail for attempted murder of a police officer, but you show up and your baby is looking like this, and you don't know what's going on with your child. You don't know what happened to your baby, because at the time she didn't know. So according to 911 calls, they did actually call EMS. Well, this is what the investigator said, that they did actually call EMS, and EMS made it to the scene, but and the child was checked out, and they decided not to let the child go with EMS. How do you make that determination? It's just this whole thing is just not adding up to anything, because at the very least, you send this injured child to the hospital, but they chose not to send the injured child to the hospital. And this is what they're claiming, that the child was seen by EMS. But according to a local reporter, the call was actually canceled. Like, EMS never showed up. They can't find record of EMS showing up. They have record of EMS being called to EMS on the way, but somehow after the fact, the EMS call was canceled. So they're still investigating that. It is a mess. So they take Corey into custody, and they charge him again with attempted murder. They charge him with attempted murder of a police officer and give him a $50,000 bond. Now, that ought to tell you right there that something is not clean in the buttermilk there, because Florida has stand your ground laws. And if he can prove, if he thinks this is not that he doesn't know what's going on, this person is coming in his house, then why is he not allowed to fire? You know what I'm saying? He doesn't know who the hell they are. So they're there to serve a warrant, and they say that he's not a subject of the warrant, and then they charge him with attempted murder for essentially trying to protect his family. It just does not make sense, and it's not cleaning the buttermilk for me. I don't care what nobody say. It is a hot boo-boo shitty mess, and I declare, honey, it is a disgrace. So 5 hours later, he did end up bonding out. So I have a report for you all that I wanted to play for you. This journalist, I don't know who she is. And if you're from Pensacola, I'm pretty sure you've seen her before. She is freaking amazing. And she really dug deep into this situation. So you guys check this out.
Bob, Sue, good evening. Now tonight, the Pensacola Police Department is saying that search warrant executed at Marioneax's home was part of an investigation into a shooting that happened at an intersection downtown over 2 weeks ago. Police say 2 people were in their car at a red light when they were shot at. Now, I looked into whether the department followed their policy in this incident and whether Florida law could protect the registered gun owner from the attempted murder charges against him. A broken door frame and this bullet hole serve as a reminder of the police encounter that could have killed someone.
It could have just been handled differently.
Family of Corey Marioneax Jr. tell us he was asleep with his kids during Thursday's execution of a search warrant at his home. They claim he thought they were intruders, not police.
Any of us would have done the same thing to protect our homes and our family.
The arrest report for Marioneax's attempted murder charge says police loudly knocked and announced themselves for approximately 10 seconds before breaking in. I checked the department's search warrant policy. It says generally members must wait at least 15 seconds. Not long after I asked the department about it Monday, they sent out this press release. PPD now says officers waited approximately 15 seconds. When I asked about the discrepancy, they told me officers waited for what they believe was an appropriate amount of time. The department acknowledged no body cameras existed to capture how long they waited. Pensacola Police told me Friday SWAT officers don't have them for fear of divulging tactics. Now, they say that's not the case. Instead, the department tells me they spent the past 7 years prioritizing patrol officers when assigning body cameras. I'm told Chief Eric Randall, who wouldn't talk with me on camera, eventually wants SWAT officers to be next. But video of the raid may still exist. Marioneax's family says officers took all of his electronics, as well as footage from security cameras on the home. They also claimed family found one of his kids injured. When I asked police, they sent me this. The department says the 2 kids were in the back seat of a car with a PPD investigator waiting for family to pick them up. At one point, they claimed the investigator got out. When he came back and opened the door, police say a child leaning on that door fell out of the car. PPD says they called EMS to check the boy out. All while officers brought their father to jail. Marioneax posted bail 5 hours after his arrest. Now, the state attorney's office will take over his case. What legal rights do homeowners have and legal gun owners have when...
I declare, honey, it is a freaking disgrace. So you leave, listen to me, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old in a vehicle, because you're the investigator and you're supposed to be out investigating shit, I guess. And you leave this 1-year-old and 3-year-old and you didn't think that possibly this 1-year-old and 3-year-old was scared and they was leaning up against the door. You didn't even think to use your flashlight to peer into the car to make sure. This is gross negligence. This is gross negligence by these police officers. This is completely disgusting, and I am so sorry, but I would definitely, I'm not sorry. I take that back. I'm not sorry, but I would pursue whatever I need to pursue in this case because this is completely disgusting. And then not only that, but you go into a person's home and then they claim that he's not the at least that's what they were telling them at first, that Corey, it was not the subject of this warrant. And you know, if he was the subject of this warrant, that they would have did anything that they could to keep him in jail, and they definitely wouldn't have gave him no $50,000 bond. That's how you know something is stinking in the situation. An attempted murder of a police officer, and he only has a $50,000 bond. Oh, no, honey. Because they know their asses is low down, dirty, and wrong, and they know that this is not going to stick. Stand your ground laws are definitely going to hopefully work in this young man's favor. And I hope that he gets a very good attorney, and that not only do they sue the police department for gross negligence of those children, because they should have never left those children unattended and had this baby fall out of the car. And prayerfully, he doesn't have anything that goes wrong with him, because a 1-year-old, his head is still soft. And you saw, let's look at how he looked again. This is the most egregious thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I had showed up and my baby looked like this. It looks like he fell right on the front of his face. For everybody out in podcasting world, he has a big bruise on his forehead and a big bruise under his nose and right above his lip. He has a big bruise there. And this is just so sad. It's so sad to look at that these police officers neglected this baby like this. I declare, honey, it is a disgrace. So I have a little bit more tea on that. I was able to find Corey's so what this warrant was about when they got there. Okay, so according to this affidavit, the affidavit states that cameras show according to this affidavit, they were there to execute a warrant based on the murder of Corey's brother in 2013. Apparently, a guy that was involved in the murder of Corey's brother in 2013 was actually sentenced to 10 years in prison, and he got out of jail a few weeks ago. And when he got out of jail on January 22nd. So on that very same day, he was actually shot. He was actually shot or whatever. So they were investigating this homicide. So this guy was actually shot. So according to this document, one of Corey's family members rented a Ford F-150 truck on the same day in December that the man was released from prison. The affidavit says that video captured a man matching Corey's description returning to the truck the day of the shooting. The documents state investigators say they found a third family member. They found a third family member's fingerprints on the truck. The affidavit says that all three people involved, including Corey, have the address of 2515 North 7th Avenue. And the document also states that investigators knew that that Corey was at home with his children. So basically, they were investigating these two other suspects. Corey was actually seen going to the video, but to that vehicle that was involved in this shooting, this homicide that occurred on January the 22nd, or whatever. Well, I'm sorry, shooting at the man. It doesn't say that the man died. It just said that they were shooting at the man. So that's what the affidavit said. So they went to go and search warrants. I guess search the home, see if there was any type of evidence or anything that's going to link anybody to that actual crime that occurred. But that still doesn't mean that you go up in somebody's house without them knowing that you are there, and they shoot at you and then you arrest them. I mean, you just can't fucking do that. That's what I'm saying. These warrants, executing these warrants at 5 o'clock in the morning, you got babies and stuff in the house. And according to this, they knew that this baby was in there and they still continue to go on with this. You just never, especially if this person allegedly was involved in the shooting of another person, and you gonna go in there with children in the house. I mean, where's your brain cells? Are you not thinking? Could you have not went to the house during the daytime? It's ridiculous. It just doesn't make any sense to me that they are allowed to serve these search warrants at wee hours of the fucking morning, and children and stuff are present in the house, and obviously there was no immediate danger. That you needed to just go in right then. Like nobody was being held hostage or anything to that effect. I don't know, players. I just think that they need to get rid of this no-knock warrants. Gotta go. and definitely need to get rid of this philosophy of we gonna sneak up on some damn people, because people got guns and shit and they not playing that no more. So if you go in and you serving warrants in the wrong spot and you doing the wrong fucking thing, it's just not kosher, and it really needs to stop, players. And I just do not like it at all. And I really want to know what you all think about this. So I will be looking more into this case. I will be following it. Corey is supposed to go to court on February 24th. I'm not sure if he's supposed to just be arraigned or he's probably already been arraigned. So this is probably just going to be like a probable cause hearing or something to that effect. So I'll definitely be keeping my eyes out on that. I'm also going to post where you can contact the Pensacola Police Department. I'm going to post that information so that you could, if you felt compelled to want to contact them and ask them to drop those charges, the district attorney's office, drop those charges against Corey, because in my opinion, it's just completely egregious. Completely egregious. And I hope that they get justice for that sweet little baby. And I hope that this man is given a fair chance to defend himself, and if not, let the charges be dropped. So with that being said, make sure you guys grab your teacups because we're moving on. Alrighty, players. So we are moving on to the next subject at hand, which would be the COVID-er. Child, this COVID-er, I just don't understand what we're going to do, but it looks like I'm not even going to give it rounding the corner. I'm just going to give it like the COVID cases are decreasing. It seems like people are getting vaccinated and doing what they're supposed to do, wearing masks. And, I can't say that they're wearing masks because there is an all-out war against mask wearing. Now that these governors, the Democrat governors, have started to lift these restrictions, now there's pressure on the Biden administration to start lifting more of the restrictions that they have put in place. And one of those is the mask wearing on public transportation, and also for the airports, for airlines and buses and things like that. Child, so this just came down the pipeline today. I just got this, so we're gonna be discovering this together, honey. So Texas has sued the Biden administration over the transportation mask mandate. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Yes, honey. Kim Paxton done had his ass up there writing more frivolous ass lawsuits on loose leaf paper. And he has actually sued President Biden to end this mask mandate. Rand Paul said it's disgusting. All of the Republicans are definitely against the mask wearing on public transportation. So this lawsuit questions the effectiveness of the mandate in stopping the spread of COVID-19, writing that the policy provides no findings that shows masks have limited the interstate transport of COVID-19. And it also says that additionally, the plaintiffs argue that federal authorities did not have the authority to enact such a measure. And they specifically said that the Center of Disease Control, that's the CDC, does not have the power to make or enforce blanket preventative measures against people that may or may not carry infectious diseases. Child, I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Child, that's Texas for you. I'm going to say, I've said it once and I'm going to say it again. President Biden I know what Justice Scalia said about it not being proper for Texas to secede from the union, but they own their own power grid. They in their own little world. Just go ahead and let them detach themselves, because I'm tired of the embarrassment. I am sick and tired of the embarrassment. It's like the Republicans just want to find something to complain about. Like when the Democrat governors, they started to lift the restrictions, they say, oh, well, we want them to be held accountable for even having the restrictions in the first place. Even though these Democrat-led states had the lowest amount of COVID numbers, the ones that was actually enforcing mask wearing and having incentives for people to get vaccinated and stuff like that. Oh, we want them to be held accountable for having us having these states under the restrictions, even though they didn't need to be under any restrictions to stop the spread of COVID. It just does not make any sense, y'all. And I'm sick of Texas. I am just sick and tired of Texas, and I'm telling you, they need to do something about them expeditiously. So, Ken Paxton, I'm sick of you, and I got one thing to say to you. If you're going to stay here, this is what I need you to do. If you're not going to succeed from the union, they're not going to let you go. This is what I'm going to need you to do.
You going to watch your temper.
I ain't got to watch shit.
You going to treat people right, talk to people right.
No,
you can get
I'm gonna need you to treat us right and stop embarrassing us. I am sick of the fuck up. I am sick of the fuck shit. I am completely sick of Texas. They just got so much malarkey and bullshit going on all the time, and the people that run that state are just disgusting. That's the reason why we have to turn Texas blue. We need Lee Merritt as the attorney general, and we need Beto as the governor. I am sick of it. I don't know who's. I got to look into the other people, but them two right there, look, we need them. So if you're in Texas, please, Lee Merritt and Beto. That's who I'm supporting all the way, all day, every day, all day. That's who I'm supporting. Child, we need to get rid of. In fact, I promise you, I will support a big toe before I support Applehead Abbott. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So we have some other COVID news that actually came down, and this was a few days ago, but I wanted to make sure that you all knew, because I did announce this on my last episode of The Real Tea with DoubleDee, or I may have just done a report about it, but I'm going to give you guys a report on this. So you remember I told you guys about Pfizer actually supposed to be putting in their application. They actually did put in their application for emergency authorization for the vaccine for 6 months to 4-year-olds. Well, they have now withdrew that application. They have withdrew that application. They said that they are pausing this for 6 months. So apparently, whatever research or whatever clinical trials that they were supposed to turn in, they may have possibly not went the way they wanted them to go, or maybe they want to do more research, more study. I would hope that it was more research and more study. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that it wasn't anything that went wrong. But so in this case, it's going to be another 6, maybe 6, maybe all the way to 8 months. At least that's what this pediatrician is saying, for us to get any approvals for our little smaller, for the 6 months to the 4-year-olds, because they paused it for 6 months. Now, I don't know if this pause is like something that they can't retract and they can't decide, oh, well, we're going to go ahead and come back and do it. I don't know that. I'm not privy to that information, but I will be watching it, and I will keep you guys updated to when they do, go ahead and submit that application. But right now it has been put on pause for 6 months. So I'm going to be watching it just to see what's going on with that. And I will keep you guys abreast. Now, make sure you fill your teacups, because we got a Glenn Youngkin story coming up next. Child, Glenn Youngkin. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So this just came down the pipeline today as well. As you all know, I believe it was a few weeks ago, Glenn Youngkin, as soon as it was like the first thing that he did, signed an executive order to remove masks in schools, like make it an option for parents to be able to decide whether they want their children to wear a mask. And then, so he signed this executive order, and it never even went into effect because he actually got sued. Everybody, apparently these parents were waiting on his ass to do it because they sued him, and then there was like a pause on it or whatever. Well, now they have did an emergency session, and apparently Glenn Youngkin has signed a bill. They rushed that shit through the state legislature. They rushed this through the state legislature because Glenn Youngkin signed the bill today banning school mask mandates in Virginia. Oh, yes, honey. He did this shit today. You hear me? So they must have had this plan, because he had the executive order. The executive order got told it to get the fuck out, and now he has signed this bill into law. So I'm pretty sure it's going to face some challenges. So what this bill does, he signed it today, and it's this bill, he signed it into law making masks optional in schools. He signed the bill shortly after the House of Delegates approved the legislation. The legislation takes effect immediately, and it allows parents to decide whether they want their children to wear masks in schools instead of Virginia officials implementing mask mandates. School districts have until March 1st to comply with the legislation once it's signed. Now, I'm wondering, because I'm sorry, this came down when I was looking up. I'm wondering what is going to be the penalty if they don't, like, are they going to take their federal, like, are they going to try to take their state funding? Because I don't really know what that's going to be like. So let's see. It doesn't say. So that'll be interesting, and that'll be something that I'll look into to see what happens if they don't comply with this and say that parents, they still gotta do it. I'm wondering what's gonna happen there. So Youngkin is a piece of motherfucking shit. That lady that punked him in that store, told him to put on that mask, she had the right idea, honey. And I tell you, I was rooting for her all the way. In fact, I really wanted to be her. Like, if I could have morphed into her body at that moment and been her, I wouldn't have whooped his ass, but I would have tried to get a little bit closer to him so he could feel me. You see what I'm saying? I wanted him to feel what I was saying. She was too far away. I think she was trying to get over there, but they wouldn't let her. But look, they wasn't going to stop me, baby. I'm going to use the elbows and all. You're going to let me get over here to this motherfucker. He's my governor. Motherfucker, put on a mask. That's what I would have been saying. So she was too nice about it. She should have cussed his ass out. That's what she should have did. I would have, just for good measure, I would have cussed his fucking ass out. Y'all know me. Y'all know I don't mind cussing nobody out. So I'm definitely going to be watching that to see what happens. It's just completely disgusting that they don't want to have masks in schools. I personally, I like the idea of masks in schools to try to slow the spread. These kids, you know, one of them get it, everybody gonna get it, you know. So I think that it was a great idea to have masks in school, but these Republican governors, they are really waging war against that, and it's really sad to watch. It really, really is sad to watch. So I'll definitely be watching that, and I'll keep you guys abreast of any changes. So now we're gonna go ahead and hear a word from our sponsor, Speak Easy.
I just wanted to talk a minute about my books on public speaking. They are activity and coloring books for kids in grades K through 5, and they include 3 different topics. So each book has a different topic, but each one has the fundamentals of public speaking in it. First book is on timing, which is very important when you're speaking in public. The other is on sounds and words we choose, articulation, pronunciation, good stuff like that. And the last one is types of speeches. How many types of speeches do you know? So anyway, get the books. You can buy them on Speakeasy. I just wanted to talk a minute about my...
I'm having some issues out of my internet tonight. Can y'all tell that? I'm really getting pissed the hell off. I'm not having a good night. My internet's been jumping in and out, so I don't know what happened. We're going to try to play that one more time because I don't want to cut Jessica off. One more time.
I just wanted to talk a minute about my books.
Oh no, it's just not happening. I hope that don't happen when I have to play this report. But anyway, it's strolling at the bottom of the screen. You guys, if y'all would like to check out Speak Easy Kids, make sure y'all go and check her out on Amazon. You can look up her coloring books and her books. Definitely a must look at and also a must support. And this is a Black owned business. It is February, so make sure you guys go and support. If y'all want to support some Black owned businesses, make sure you go and check Jessica out. If you have some little kids, some little grandkids that may be getting to that age where it's time to do some public speaking, and also when they're little bitties, I told you she got some really nice coloring books. My baby love those. So it's time to move along real quick and funky like. Grab your teacups because it's piping hot. I don't know why these things are doing that. But anyway, that was the tea report. Child, we got to talk about Hillary Clinton and Frumpy Dump and his fuck shit. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Let me go ahead and put him up on the screen. Frumpy Dump is getting on my goddamn nerves, and I'm sick of it. But whose nerves is he not ever getting on? So he wants to try to distract from the fact that his funky ass got caught with 15 boxes of presidential records. So now he wants to go ahead and try to make a mountain out of a molehill in this Durham report that really ain't no fucking report. It's really an extension of something. So if y'all don't know what this whole hoopla between Frumpy Dump and Hillary Clinton is about and what's going on, I'm going to give you guys a brief synopsis of what is happening, and I'm going to tell you that it's just a bunch of crock of freaking bullshit per usual. Fox News and the Frumpy Dump taste sniffers have jumped on this because this is what Frumpy Dump is doing. And I declare, honey, it is disgusting. So, I'm sorry, that's the wrong screenshot. So today, Hillary Clinton actually addressed this after Fox News and Newsmax and OAN's been following her around trying to get her to comment on this, and she decided not to comment on it. And today she actually tweeted out about it, and she actually tweeted out a Vanity Fair article with this. Okay, so she says Trump and Fox are desperately spinning up a fake scandal to distract from his real ones. So it's a day that ends in Y. The more his misdeeds are exposed, the more they lie. For those interested in reality, here's a good debunking of their latest nonsense. So let me tell y'all what's going on. So there's this guy named John Durham. He's a special counsel that has been investigating this Russian interference in the 2016 election. As you all know, they were saying that Frumpy Dump was actually conspiring with Russia to do things, which, in my opinion, there may be some truth to that, because we know Frumpy Dump and Putin were like bosom buddies. So I wouldn't think that it wouldn't be far-fetched for me to believe this. So last week, so this guy, his name is Michael Sussman, and he's a former attorney who worked for this guy named Joff, who worked on behalf of the Clintons in the 2016 campaign. So, but there's actually no connection between Michael Sussman and Clinton. There has been no evidence that came out that he actually spoke with the Clinton campaign at all. But Michael Sussman has actually been charged with lying to the FBI. Well, Durham has accused Sussman of lying to the FBI when in 2016. When he told them that he was not representing a client, presenting data that potentially established a link between Frumpy Dump and this investigation. I mean, Frumpy Dump's campaign or whatever. So, I'm sorry, between former President Trump's business with the bank that was based in Moscow. Okay, so Durham is saying that this guy actually lied about this. So this guy is actually going to court about this. So this new filing is a part of this case. And it basically says it's just a part of this case. It's just basically a part of this, and it's into this probe into this Russian interference in 2016 in this 2016 election, and it represents nothing to say that Hillary Clinton had anything to do with anything. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have anything to do with Hillary at all. You know what I'm saying? But they are spinning this narrative to try to make it seem like they were interfering to try to get into Frumpy Dump's internet connection, and they were spying into his office and all this kind of stuff, when that is not the case at all. And they're just making a big deal out of this. This filing was basically a part of this investigation into this guy's case where he supposedly lied to the FBI. That's basically what this is. But this guy has pleaded not guilty, and he hasn't been to court yet. And who knows if he'll ever go to court. But this guy has not been to court. So that's all I didn't dive into this very much, because honestly, it's a bunch of nonsense to me in regards to Frumpy Dump. Whenever they come out with some actual tangible evidence that will indicate to me that Hillary Clinton had anything to do with it other than bullshit that Frumpy Dump is saying, then I'll look into it. But as of now, I'm not wasting my time on that crap. Because in my opinion, it's just another ruse that Frumpy Dump is using to try to distract from the fact that his ass had 15 boxes of documents that he was not supposed to have in his possession. So that's all I know about it. I just thought I'd give y'all a little help there to let you know that this is some fuck shit and we just need to move the hell on. Now, let's just get to some more tea. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. This internet sucks. All righty, so let's move on to the January 6th Select Committee, honey, because I am so excited to talk about this because Alex Jones' fucky ass has been subpoenaed. Alex Jones, the January 6th has requested phone records from Alex Jones' security employee. So you know what this is indicating to me, y'all? This is indicating that Alex Jones got a lot to do with the fuck shit, the shenanigans. You hear what I'm saying? And this is really giving me pause. So the subpoena came to light in a court document filed Tuesday. The radio host is asking, the committee subpoenaed his phone, the security guy's phone records. His name is Enlow, and they subpoenaed for his phone records to be turned over to the Select Committee. Now, y'all know that Alex Jones was actually questioned by the Select Committee, and he said that back in November, and he said that he pled the fifth 100% of the time. That's at least what he was saying, honey. So this right here is a hot boo-boo shitty mess. And it says, given the broad scope of the defendant's investigation and their goals in pursuing information and documents from Jones and Enlow, there's a clear logical relationship between their claims because the defendants seek to use Enlow as a gateway to Jones, and they were making communications regarding the events of January 6th. So they want his phone records, honey. They want to see who he was talking to. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm here for it all, bitch. You know, if you guys are following, if you guys are on TikTok, V actually told me that some of these January 6th Select Committee questionings are going to be done in court. And they're likely going to start doing that in April. Not in court, but in public. They're going to start airing them. So if they do, honey, y'all probably going to see me for a real tea with DoubleDee every night. Especially if they do human skid Mark Giuliani. If they do him on live TV, do you know how I'm going to be sitting up here with my teacup and I'm not going to be able to contain my delight? Because y'all know he was actually subpoenaed, but they rescheduled the human skid Mark. He actually got rescheduled, but they say that he is talking about cooperating. Maybe he's getting tired of Frumpy Dump fucking him over, because y'all know Frumpy Dump still ain't paid his ass. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. If human skid Mark Giuliani if this actually gets reported, gets done live, I'm telling y'all, I think I'm gonna watch it with y'all. We gonna enjoy this bounty together, and y'all gonna make sure y'all have to bring some snacks. I'm gonna bring the tea, and y'all bring some snacks. You hear me? All right, y'all. So we gonna move along. I'm gonna try to play my tea report one more time. I can't believe this is happening to me, y'all. Are y'all mad at me? Don't be mad. Let's try the tea report one more time, because I love it here. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. I was on time tonight. Why are you doing this to me, internet gods? I declare, what a disgrace. So, y'all, we're going to move along here. I got one more thing I want to talk about, and then we're going to get to play. Well, this is brief, and since I can't really play the video, I'm just going to let you guys know about this. If you didn't know, the Sandy Hook families settled for $70 million with gun makers. This gun maker, Remington, Remington. This is actually a landmark case. This is actually unprecedented. This is the first time that a gun maker has been held accountable for a mass shooting. So this is actually a good thing. Now, Remington did file bankruptcy. So I'm wondering how they're gonna handle that. Maybe they got some money, but the case was closely watched by gun control advocates, gun rights supporters, and manufacturers because of the potential. Because of its potential to provide a roadmap for victims of other shootings to sue firearm makers. The families and the survivors of the shooting sued Remington in 2015. So this has been a long time coming. They have been going in and out of court. This has been a long time coming. So I did have a little portion of one of the parents' speech that I wanted to play for you all, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to let me play it. So I'm not even going to start it and then have to stop it, and you guys won't be able to hear it. But it was a very touching thing, and I know that them getting this settlement will not bring their those sweet babies back that lost their lives. But at the end of the day, at least they are somewhat being held accountable, the gun makers, for what happened in Sandy Hook, because that was a tragedy. And again, we still have no gun laws. I will never forget President Obama standing in that rose garden with those parents surrounding him as he was trying to get these Republican lawmakers, to the Republican members of Congress, to see these families and to see the hurt, and for them to try to actually do something. And they did absolutely nothing. And who knows if changing the gun laws will work, but what does it hurt to try? What does it hurt to try? And when that happened, my mother looked at me and she said to me, she said, if a room full of dead babies doesn't change them, then nothing will. And that has been my sentiment since then, that nothing will actually change them if a room full of deceased children doesn't change their stance on that. And it's really disheartening to see. It really is. So my thoughts and prayers are going out to those families, and I hope that this brings them some peace and they can move on, because now this case has been settled. Which one of y'all players was out there praying for me and made my T report work again? I love y'all. Y'all, we get to the end of the show. I just got one more thing I got to tell y'all about this. Child, what? And then we got to play stupid games, win stupid prizes, which I got to do that. But anyway, so Baton Rouge, honey, a 14-year-old girl from Baton Rouge tried to hire a hitman from a website called rentahitman.com. Baby, what is going on with our babies? I declare, honey, what a disgrace. And she didn't do her research. So this is a satire website called rentahitman.com. And they have in there where you could do an inquiry and you could say that you wanted to have somebody taken out the game. And apparently this 14-year-old wanted to have, and this is in Louisiana, Lord have mercy, I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Excuse me. And apparently this 14-year-old wanted to have her ex-boyfriend killed, honey, and she has been arrested. She was arrested on Monday. An administrator for rentahitman.com made contact with the local authorities and reported the incident. The teen was booked in the East Baton Rouge Juvenile Detention Center for solicitation of murder. So this is not going to be good. And here's the thing. 14 years old, at this age, you know, because these kids are so mechanically inclined and, you know, they're technology and all that stuff. Why didn't she do some research on this first? Because if she had done some research on this, she would have came across this lady, Miss Wendy Rand, who actually is in July of 2020. She's from Michigan, and she came across the website and she tried to hire somebody to kill her husband and actually was going to pay them $5,000. She started trying to offer them $5,000 and to kill her husband. So a little bit of research on this website, you would have came across the fact that it was satire, but at 14, your brain isn't fully developed. But that's what this lady did. She promised to, it's a shame. And this website, it has 18,000 field operatives, operatives who can do the job anywhere in the U.S., and it features testimonials from satisfied clients, including a man who wrote that Rent a Hitman handled my disgruntled employee issues and promptly while I was out of town on vacation. And this woman tried to offer them $5,000 to kill her husband. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. And now we have a 14-year-old that was trying to have her ex-boyfriend killed. I really don't know what's going to happen to her, but it is really sad. It's really sad to see this, and I really don't like it. And I'm hoping she's probably going to be charged as a juvenile because they didn't release her picture. I don't have a picture of her or anything. So, hopefully she's charged as a juvenile and possibly get some help, because that's a hot boo boo shitty mess, honey. I declare. But now, y'all, guess what time it is? It's time for your favorite time of the day. Players, it's time. All right. Players, it's time for another riveting episode of Play Stupid Games, Win Stupid Prizes. Oh, players, I got a good one for y'all tonight, and y'all gonna love it here. If you love me, just put it in the comments if you love me, because I really want to know. Players, guess who's making the Play Stupid Games, Win Stupid Prizes tonight? Mike Lindell, My Pillow guy. So have y'all heard about what's going on in Canada with the COVID-19 vaccine mandates or whatever? They're like trying to boycott or whatever, the truckers and all that kind of stuff. They're like trying to boycott all of this, and it's a convoy of protesters that they have. And so Mike Lindell decided that he wanted to help by sending 10,000 pillows. He had a truck full of 10,000 pillows, and including 1,000 Bible pillows is what he was sending over there to Canada to support these truckers and their families. And he wanted the 1,000 Bible pillows to go to the children. So Mike Lindell scurried his ass on with this truck, and he got to the border, and his funky ass could not get in. Please let this play so y'all can see the truck and what happened. And it was a custom truck, y'all.
Liz, you've got a live shot of what it looks like here at Port Huron here in Michigan. This is one of the entry points to Canada, and you got this big 53-foot My Pillow truck all loaded up with about 10,000 pillows, just awaiting the permits to cross over this bridge. Let me pan the camera over to our left, your right. You'll see the entry point right there, the blue truck there. You can see it. Generally, it takes only just a few seconds, really, as a truck.
Players, Mike Lindell was literally hating from the outside of the club, and he couldn't even get in. Players, so they sat out there. Usually, this checkpoint usually takes like a few minutes for these truckers to get through. You know what I'm saying? They do a I think it was a PSR test or something like that they do. They hand over their papers, their permits or whatever they do, and then they breeze on through. Well, I can't. They were denied entry because they were trying to get in, y'all, and they were not vaccinated. Listen to me. I'm so sorry. sorry, podcasters. I can't hold it. Listen to me. Apparently, he did his own research on the border requirements, and he nor the truckers were vaccinated that were trying to get through the border. I declare, honey, what a fucking disgrace. Y'all, I cannot breathe. How you gonna try to go over there and help somebody that's just trying to do a protest, and they, oh, please God help me, Lord. You can't even get in. You cannot make this shit up. You hear me? You cannot. Players, I'm about to make a video about that because I got to laugh some more, and I don't want to mess up y'all ears, but I got to laugh a little bit more because do you hear me? Do you hear me? Well, players, Mike Lindell, enjoy your stupid prize. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Well, players, I want to thank y'all for joining me tonight to record a brand new episode of The Real Tea with Double D. Thank you to everybody that's listening out in podcasting world. This has been, I told you we had a jam-packed episode. I've been on here for an hour, and I never stay this long. I really appreciate y'all, everybody in the comments, everybody out there in YouTube, on Facebook. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I really appreciate y'all. Remember, I record a brand new episode of The Real Tea with Double D every Wednesday at 10 o'clock Central Time. So anybody out in podcasting world, if you want to join me, make sure that you do that on my Facebook page, Double D Mother, or on YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm getting a little bit better. I had a little technical difficulties, but I'm getting a little bit better by myself. So I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable. But thank y'all so much for joining. And remember, this episode was sponsored by Speak Easy Kids. And thank you so much for sponsoring this episode, Jessica. And if you are interested in sponsoring an episode, make sure that you guys contact me. You can contact me on my Facebook page, or you can also contact me on my IG, or you can email me at tiffanycjones85@gmail.com. This podcast, I have a minimum of $5,000 downloads per podcast, and I also stream these live, and I also post them on my YouTube and Facebook pages. So you'll be reaching a lot of potential customers. So if you're interested in sponsoring an episode, make sure you contact me. I thank you again. I thank everybody for joining me out there in Facebook and YouTube land. Thank you so much, Speak Easy Kids, for sponsoring, and we're going to let her take us on out of here. Thank you guys. Love y'all so much. Have a good night, and see you next Wednesday.
I just wanted to talk a minute about my books on public speaking. They are activity and coloring books for kids in grades K through 5, and they include 3 different topics. So each book has a different topic, but each one has the fundamentals of public speaking in it. First book is on timing, which is very important when you're speaking in public. The other is on sounds and words we choose, articulation, pronunciation, good stuff like that. And the last one is types of speeches. How many types of speeches do you know? So anyway, get the books. You can buy them on speakeasyforkids.com or amazon.com. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you later.